Are you ready for the future of real estate? There's three camps going on right now. There's the agents that don't think the future will be any different than the past. There's the agents that are just waiting to see and then they'll adapt and overcome. And then there's agents who are absolutely taking a proactive approach and adjusting their strategies, dialing in their value propositions, and moving forward regardless of what the change is, because all we really do know is that there will be change. So if you're in that third group, stay tuned. We are going to absolutely bring it full circle, give you some transformative ideas, and get you moving in the right direction. If you're in the other two, please watch. It's a must. Let's go. Let's move forward together and be better for it. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Kane with the Real Estate Agent Playbook. You are immersed in the Agent Change series. We're doing a 10-part video series to hopefully move past the negativity and everything surrounding the NAR lawsuits and start making a change personally for your business to absolutely crush whatever change may come. So if you like that, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're listening on the podcast, please share this with your favorite agent or somebody who could use it. And absolutely, let's move forward. Let's build these communities and let's rise up above the negativity that's going on in our industry right now. And we will all be better for it. All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, we must talk a little bit about navigating the future, right? We can't know where we're going or anything without diving into what might come, what may become. Certainly, do not let this consume you. All we really know at this point in time is there's a settlement on the table and it's proposed. Nothing is set in stone. However, it looks like NAR will be moving forward with these changes regardless of what the DOJ says. It might not be final. However, it's going to be a fluid situation and we need to make a difference right now in our businesses and our careers. So we must accept that in a market where change is inevitable. We must act on our feet and look at ourselves introspectively and figure out how we're going to move forward with the new rules. Certainly, once the rules come down, we can adjust these strategies. However, if you're waiting for the rules to come down in order to make some changes that in most part seem like they'd be positive for your business, you are missing the boat. So let's just embrace this change together. We don't have to talk so much about the lawsuits and all of this stuff. We're going to talk about innovating and moving forward right now as we move. So I've come up with 3 strategies of adapting. First and foremost, a new focus on listings. This is nothing new, list to last, list or die, all the things. And this is something that we've been trying forever, but now there's a little sense of urgency attached to it, and I think it's gaining some steam. So if you're looking at changing into a listing agent, you have to look introspectively, and I will give you a hint. The only way to go from a buyer's agent to a listing agent is you must change your target avatar to homeowners, right? There is no sellers if you don't talk to homeowners. So that's the first little hint. I actually am coming out with a webinar that will go buyer's agent to listing agent, 30-day plan. Will give you everything you need to do that. If you're interested in that, it's coming out May 1st, end of April, not sure the date yet, but comment webinar below and you will absolutely be able to take that webinar for absolutely free. I will send it to you before I send it to the public and start advertising it on social medias, but it will give you a game plan, a blueprint to absolutely change your business from a buyer's agent to a listing agent in 30 days. And so first of all, that perspective's been there forever. So let's kind of look at some other opportunities that might exist. Next, let's engage buyers in a changing world, right? Let's be transparent about it. Let's have conversations. Let's practice our scripts. Certainly, the best cold callers out there are absolutely the best cold callers because they've had repetition after repetition after repetition. Certainly, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to, know exactly what the lawsuits are doing. However, if you're engaging buyers instead of completely turning a blind eye to them, I think you will be better off. There will be a need for buyer's agents in this adapting world. And so how do we do that? It might be a little bit of a compensation hit or whatever. But in my perspective, first-time homebuyers are still going to be my very favorite clients to work with. First and foremost, it's fulfillment, right? You're actually filling a need of somebody who probably needs your services. And, I think we missed the boat, right? I think the experienced agents that say they hate working with first-time homebuyers are actually doing the entire industry a disservice, right? It may be that at some point you might get compensated a little bit less in the event you make it work. But how cool is it putting someone into home ownership and making that dream reality, right? I'm not saying to slash your commissions. I'm not saying to be a discount agent. However, if you get somebody in and you're a little bit flexible with that commission, don't you think that at some point you might, benefit greatly from that? Certainly. And we'll see how it plays out. In my opinion, in my market, I don't think that there will be zero listings out there for buyers to purchase that do not offer some sort of broker compensation. May it be a little more work? Certainly. However, we have to understand that the point and what first-time home buyers turn into are absolutely gold mines for referrals, for repeat business. And certainly over a lifetime, they may use you 5, 6, 10 times. They may refer you that many times as well. And so you have to understand and kind of think about how you're going to stack that value proposition and, be a little negotiable on your, commission. Certainly do what you want to do, but you have to understand that no matter what happens, there will be a mass exodus of agents that are trying to help those people. So in my opinion, that breeds opportunity, right? Are you going to build up a pool of buyers that may help you on the listing side? Just a hint. A lot of different things you can do, but let's just start thinking creatively, right? There are other ways for you to get paid besides just that commission at that closing table. And so that's what I challenge you to do. And honestly, I don't have all the answers. So just work on being transparent, work on your scripting, work on your conversations, and start with the people you know. Start with your family members, your wife, your husband, whatever, right? And work through that. But let's not just completely turn our backs on that buyer consistency. And I think there's a massive potential for first-time home buyers, right? Certainly second-time, third-time, fourth-time home buyers, those people may have the equity built in and so on. Then you have, the whole confusion about, well, if I'm going to offer a commission on this, then am I going to have to pay, 3 commissions versus 2 or whatever? And so you have to, kind of navigate through those, but just take 30 minutes a day to be creative, right? Tap into your creative side, go to that marketing brain and see what you can do. Because the days of just putting it up there, this script works all the time. I just don't see that as serving your career and your clients in the best interest. So those are kind of my 3, people to focus on and things to focus on as they're the most affected, right? So if there's change and if there's confusion, that's absolutely an opportunity for you to be transparent, be the knowledgeable voice in the room regarding real estate and how we get paid and the market and all the things, and you will not have to worry about your compensation in the future. So again, all of this will kind of be covered in the comment webinar below if you are interested in getting the early sneak peek on buyer's agent to listing agent in 30 days. And so as we move forward, there are multiple, players in the real estate game. So once you kind of got your buyers, your sellers, you have a plan, let's build it out. Let's continue to, maybe put that on paper or in, a presentation or something. So you kind of build up that unique value proposition. I will tell you, there will be a mass migration to these buyer presentations and PowerPoint, and everybody's going to be using, the templates that all the brokerages and all the big dogs are putting out. I will tell you that if you follow that phase, that's okay. It's a good starting point and a foundation, and I think you absolutely should. However, if you've listened to any of my stuff before, my listing presentation and so on, which will all probably change a little bit, you have to find the differentiation. So instead of herding into this, small gate, I think of it like herding cows, right? You're pushing them through, or herding sheep. You're pushing them through, and you want to have this small, transition point into a different, area or whatever. That's what everyone's doing right now. So, but this lone black sheep over here is the one that usually stands out and can be a little bit different. So I'm not saying don't build a buyer's presentation. That's not it at all. Don't think about your unique value proposition. But I think the secret will be in presenting it and communicating it. Because if it's all focused on the marketing and how pretty it looks and all of that, the communication piece is the part that actually matters. So work on your communication and how you're going to communicate it. Be unique. And absolutely, this will help you as you move forward. So we're going to talk a lot about this kind of stuff, what you can do moving forward. The only thing about this Agent Change series, this is only video number 2, is at this stage of the game, we have to embrace the change and move forward. So if you like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe, follow along. It's 10 parts. You'll have great stuff in here. So we have 8 more videos to go. So make sure you do that. If you're listening on the podcast, same thing, 8 more podcasts. Share this with somebody who might be in fear, who might be, kind of looking backwards. We're looking forwards, we're moving ahead, and we're going to absolutely make change in our businesses and be the change that will absolutely come out on top and transform this industry.